Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news, let's head outside, take a quick look outside our weather window. And boy, it's been the same old song and dance for about the last 4 or 5 days. Low cloud deck just socked into the Wenatchee Valley. This actually is a shot from Jump Off Ridge, and the left center of your screen should be Wenatchee Heights. And yes, down below is East Wenatchee and Wenatchee, and this is what we have been dealing with for a few days now, and boy, it really kept our temperature down today. And as we get into our early morning hours tonight and in tomorrow, we have a storm system headed our way, and we could see literally a little bit of everything. We do have a winter weather advisory that'll go into effect at 1 a.m., and that will go until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So boy, that morning commute, you could see ice, freezing rain, a little bit of snow mixed in, and then just all rain as we warm up for Thursday. And we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. We'll have the latest news from the state COVID briefing this morning. The Chelan-Douglas Health District said Tuesday that people showing up without an appointment for COVID-19 tests are causing backups and long wait times at the town Toyota's testing site. And county commissioners in both Chelan and Douglas counties have now taken a stand against establishment of a local income tax. But first, our top story tonight, a 42-year-old Quincy father of 5 was killed late yesterday afternoon in a single-car rollover accident on Highway 28, 1 mile west of Quincy. According to the Washington State Patrol, Efren Murillo Tejada was driving a 2006 Toyota Tacoma pickup eastbound on that highway when he left the roadway to the right while attempting to avoid traffic that had stopped for a vehicle that was making a left turn onto a private driveway. Tejada overcorrected, causing the truck to roll over. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Tejada was not wearing a seatbelt. Traffic was blocked and diverted in both directions for nearly 3 hours. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help with Murillo's funeral expenses and assist his family. It's nearly 2 years into the pandemic, and cases and hospitalizations for COVID-19 are up all across Washington. But state health officials say the Omicron variant poses an overall milder health risk than past versions of the virus, and studying its patterns may offer some hope for society moving past the pandemic.
Yeah, we have been watching what's happening in other parts of the country and other parts of the world very closely. In South Africa, we saw a very rapid rise and are seeing a fairly rapid decline. And so that's certainly what we hope for. However, in other countries in Europe, we've seen a rapid rise and a slower decline. On the East Coast, we're seeing that some states seem to be past a peak or on a decline. Our hope is that the immunity of our population that's been achieved through vaccination, and that the immunity of our population that has occurred from infection, from past variants as well as Omicron variants, that this population level immunity will help see the end to the pandemic. But there's so much that's unknown. It is quite possible that a new variant could arise that is able to evade our immunity from vaccination or immunity from past infection from Omicron and other variants. And so that's the real unknown. But I think what we can do to try to decrease the chance that will happen is get as many people vaccinated, not only in the US, but throughout the world, vaccinated as soon as we can, because the larger the population of people who are infected, the more chances the virus has to mutate. And the greater opportunities to mutate, the greater the chance that a mutation will arise that can evade our immunity from vaccination or infection.
The Chelan-Douglas Health District said Tuesday that people showing up without an appointment for COVID-19 tests are causing backups and long wait times at the town Toyota Center testing sites. Waits of more than an hour or longer are being reported at the site, especially yesterday when testing resumed after the long holiday weekend. In a statement, the health district asked that people show respect to the staff and fellow community members by not showing up unless they have symptoms and have registered in advance. Registrations can be made through the health district's website at cdhd.wa.gov. In other news, county commissioners in both Chelan and Douglas counties have now taken a stand against establishment of a local income tax. Douglas County commissioners voted yesterday to prohibit a local income tax on wages or any other sources of income. Their approval followed Chelan County commissioners' vote to approve a similar measure 1 week ago. Washington courts ruled 3 years ago that cities and counties have the authority to levy a flat 1% tax on income. The two counties become the latest in eastern Washington to renounce any such measures. Grant County commissioners took the same step in early January. Coming up next, the State Department of Fish and Wildlife will allow commercial thinning on almost 2,000 forest acres on land it controls, including the Clockham Wildlife Area. The Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest is warning people that there are still plenty of hazards out there and they should be well prepared before heading into the backcountry. And Chelan County Commissioner Bob Boogert announced today that he won't seek re-election when his term ends this year. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics, and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment, so my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
Ever wonder what it takes for wild birds to survive the longer, colder nights of winter? They can't just turn up the thermostat or throw on an extra blanket. Winter Super Blend from Wild Birds Unlimited provides a super boost of energy and fat, essential for winter survival. Stop by our store to learn how you can help the birds this season and how you can attract more beautiful birds to your yard. Wild Birds Unlimited. More birds, more joy.
Welcome back. And in other news, the State Department of Fish and Wildlife will allow commercial thinning on almost 2,000 forest acres on land it controls, including about 1,400 acres in the Clockham Wildlife Area. The agency says the timber harvest will produce up to 5 million board feet of lumber while also reducing the risk of wildfire on the 105,000-acre preserve south of Wenatchee. Several hundred acres are scheduled to be thinned in Klickitat County as well. It's part of the agency's Forest Health Initiative, which has been in place since 2014. The harvest would take place over the next 1 to 2 years. With the mountain passes back open and major snowstorms apparently on pause, more people are heading out for forest recreation. The Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest is warning people that there are still plenty of hazards out there and they should be well prepared before heading into the backcountry.
Knowing before you go is incredibly important year-round, but in the winter it's even more important. Many Forest Service roads are not plowed or maintained, and some are even closed seasonally. Check road conditions before heading out. You can do this by visiting Forest Service websites or state road condition websites. Another unseen trail hazard are tree wells. These form when the space directly around a tree trunk gets less snow than the surrounding area because of the above branches catching the snowfall. This creates a deep cavity that can be hard to see and can be extremely dangerous. When recreating in the snow, skiing, snowshoeing, snowboarding, or even hiking, give trees some space.
Chelan County Commissioner Bob Boogert announced today that he won't seek re-election when his term ends this year. Boogert, who chaired the 3-member Board of Commissioners in 2021, says he'll instead volunteer his time next year to nonprofit organizations in the community. The one-term commissioner previously led the Chelan-Douglas Land Trust. He was elected in 2017 to represent Chelan County District 2. Boogert says he wanted to give early notice of his decision so that other candidates can step forward and begin to plan their campaigns. Election filings open on May 16th. Well, the former head of the Chelan County PUD will testify before Congress tomorrow. Steve Wright, who retired as general manager at the end of 2021, will speak in a House Oversight Subcommittee hearing on the energy impact of cryptocurrencies. The Chelan County PUD wrestled for months in 2018 to set utility rates for mining of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which uses much more electricity than other industries in the area. Energy companies have long worried that crypto mining would create more demand for power than they could sustain. Washington House members Kim Schreier and Kathy McMorris Rogers both serve on that subcommittee. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsack said Tuesday that the combination of climate change and past strategies for fighting forest fires has led to some of the worst fire seasons on record, including in 2021. Vilsack, whose department includes the U.S. Forest Service, said a new aggressive forest treatment strategy is vital to heading off future forest disasters.
On July 4th this year, the multinational coordinating group moved the national wildfire preparation level to level 5. Now, this is the highest level of wildland fire activity, and it was at the earliest time in the past 10 years and stayed there for a record 69 days. This is an aberration. Climate change, coupled with a history of putting out natural fires over the last 100 years, has resulted in conditions in our forests and wildlands that are very dangerous. Overstocked forest and dry conditions linked to climate change are a difficult combination, and it means that we're going to continue to see difficult fire seasons in the future unless we act and act now. To reduce the threat of wildfires, the Forest Service has to increase dramatically the treatments in our national forests. Our challenge is simple. To state, we have to more than triple the number of acres we treat annually with scientifically sound thinning and prescribed fire methods. Improved markets for wood products through new products like mass timber and cross-laminated timber can certainly help underwrite the cost of restoration while storing carbon in wood products over the long term. Now, these markets will also maintain incentives for private landowners and tribes to maintain and manage their forests. But on federal lands, so much of the timber is of low value that these markets alone are not enough to underwrite the cost of these treatments. Treating more acres is going to cost more money. And while the President's budget increases investment in treatment, the resources called for under the Infrastructure Bill and the Reconciliation Bill are absolutely essential and will guarantee that our forests will get the attention they desperately need.
Time now to take a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Wednesday was a good one. And boy, weather-wise, same old song and dance. We had that cloud inversion that just would not lift out of the Wenatchee Valley. And here you have it. This is from this afternoon, looking from our camera high atop Jump-Off Ridge. Wenatchee Heights is in here somewhere in the Wenatchee Valley down here along with the Columbia River. But these clouds, it just wouldn't go away, and that kept our temperature down once again today. Boy, we have been between 27 and 31 degrees for about the last 26 hours. And today, high temperature, 31 degrees. 34 is where we should be for this time of year. 49 is our record high. That was set back in 1994. Old overnight low this morning, 27, pretty much right in the ballpark of 24, and that's where we should be for this time of year. Record low, 1 below in 1962. Precipitation to date, that goes back to January 1st. We're at 1.18 inches, and of course snowfall, that is a seasonal total going back to October 1st, 42.8 inches, but on January 6th we picked up 24 of those inches. Sunrise this morning, 20 minutes to 8, and the sun will set tonight, or did set tonight, at just about 4:45. Let's take a look now at how our Thursday temperatures shape up. I think you're going to like these temperatures. If we actually see these clouds move out of here, we will see temperatures in the low 40s. Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy, and Wenatchee, all of us 42 degrees possibly tomorrow, 40 in Ellensburg, 40 as well in Leavenworth, and 41 for the high temperature in Lake Chelan. We'll get to why it might not be that great with those warm temperatures in a second. Tonight, 60% chance of overnight snow showers. We could see freezing rain. We could see a mixture of rain mixed with snow. There is a winter weather advisory that goes into effect at 1 a.m. That'll go until 9 a.m. Thursday. Look at our weather on Thursday morning. This is mostly rain because we will warm up, as we mentioned. High temperatures tomorrow in the low 40s thanks to this big area of high pressure off the west coast. Getting you into your Friday, it is going to be gorgeous for Friday. Mostly sunny skies, unseasonably warm for this time of year. We're talking highs on Friday in the lower 40s. And then a bit of a cool down as we get into the weekend. Our weather will still stay dry and quiet, but just some cooler temperatures with highs in the mid-30s. Watch out for some morning fog on both Saturday and Sunday as well. And partly cloudy skies pretty much both days. Maybe a little bit sunnier on Sunday. Once again, a foggy start to the day with high temperatures consistently into the mid-30s, about where we should be for this time of year. Getting you into the next work week for Monday and Tuesday. Monday, partly cloudy skies. We will begin to warm up a little bit as this high drags some subtropical air into our area. We're talking highs on Monday into the upper 30s, so that'll be slightly above normal. And then for Tuesday, partly cloudy and mild. Once again, we will enjoy high temperatures in the upper 30s. Let's take a look now at that 7-day forecast. Tonight will drop down to 29 for an overnight low. Remember, rain, snow, freezing rain overnight into Thursday. That will affect your morning commute. We're going to see something wet. I'm not sure what form it's going to be in the morning, but it will be a little bit wet. 42 then by tomorrow afternoon. Friday, let's circle this day right here. This is going to be the nice one. Mostly sunny with a high of 42. Morning fog on both Saturday and Sunday mornings, and then partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies by afternoon. 36 Saturday, 35 on Sunday, and then back to the warmer weather as we get you into Monday and Tuesday. Partly cloudy both days with highs in the upper 30s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think there's something the matter with him.
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious?
No, he's not. He's not.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there. I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. After 4 seasons as defensive coordinator, Ken Norton Jr. has been fired by the Seattle Seahawks. The team made the announcement yesterday that Norton would not return for the 2022 season, along with defensive passing game coordinator Andre Curtis. Now, Seattle's defense was next to last in the league in passing yards allowed this season. Coach Pete Carroll said during his interview last weekend on Seahawks Saturday Night that they'd need to explore changes after a 7-10 campaign.
We got to make sure and have a really productive offseason, however it takes shape. Last year wasn't like it needs to be, and I'm not exactly sure how we'll be able to tweak that this time around, because I don't know what the rules are going to be. We don't know what the protocols are going to be and all that kind of stuff. But we need to have a more productive offseason so we start faster. We need to be on it, and so we're looking at a number of things that will contribute to that.
Now, Carroll says the biggest difference between an NFC West championship team in 2020 and a last-place team this year was about finishing.
It's just the difference between a year ago. We had, I think, 8 games, that came down to it, and we won 7 of them. This year we had 5, and we didn't win any of them, and so that's something like that. I don't know how specific, how straight those numbers are, but it's like that, and it felt like that. We had opportunities. Let's go to the Chicago game. Just win the Chicago game. Just win that game, and finish the game and go home. And we just didn't get that done consistently, and we need to execute better down the stretch. We need to be clear. We need to be more resolved. We need to finish like we finished the last couple weeks, and that'll make a difference.
Now, the rumor mill is swirling once again about Russell Wilson's future in Seattle. Seahawks Saturday Night host Aaron Levine asked Carroll if fans can expect Wilson back again in 2022.
You think we can get through an offseason without the rumors and speculation? Are we all on the same page here?
I don't know that. I wouldn't try to, I don't want to give you false hopes, because there's just so much stuff that can happen, in the offseason. There's unpredictable stuff, but we'll do everything we can to keep it in order and all that. But let me say this, Aaron, that we're going to compete at every turn. That's all we know how to do. That's all John and I have been doing since we got here, and we're not backing off that. We're going to, whatever is there, we got to exhaust the opportunities for our club, and right from the owner. Jody wants us to take a look at every single opportunity to better the franchise and to help us. So that's what we do, and we'll try to take you along with this. I'll try to be as straight as I can with you so you know what's going on as fans, the ship, and all that, because we love you and we want you to be part of what's happening. But it's going to take us. It's going to take us some time to put it all together. It's just as it always is. There's a lot of really difficult decisions that have to be made this time of year, and they start, with the free agents and well before the draft and all that. And so I love this locker room. I love this team and what they bring, leadership, and how much they love to practice and play and work together and play for one another. We've got the nucleus of a championship right here, and so we're going to try to keep that together, and we'll take you with us as we go through it.
Over the final 5 weeks of the season, Seattle found its running attack with Rashad Penny. Carroll says it was already there. They just needed to take advantage of it.
I made the statement to our coaches, 6 or 7 games into the season, that the blocking consistency that we were demonstrating on the backside of our plays was there to be taken advantage of, and we weren't capturing it. And it took us quite a ways through the season before we really took advantage of it. And then you saw Rashad take off. And, so it was a hard year for us in terms of the running back position, because Chris went out early, and then and Alex got going, and then he got the hernia thing that happens, and it slowed him down, and he couldn't get going. And then finally Penny got back to full health, and he took off and really sparked kind of a surge of kind of realization of what we could do. And the offensive line was there the whole time. And from Dwayne and Posick and those guys, they just kept punching and hung with us. And then finally we get to watch them emerge and really generate some great play in this game of football.
Seahawks are reportedly interested in interviewing Denver defensive coordinator Ed Donatel to replace Norton. Seattle's current defensive line coach Clint Hurt also mentioned as a candidate. Well, let's get to the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard from high school hoops last night. First of all, on the boys' side, Davis beat Moses Lake 81-54. Kashmir down Cascade 60-41. Chelan had no trouble with Omak, winning 71-47. Quincy and Manson were canceled. Ephrata edged Othello 61-55. Bridgeport beat Wilson Creek 46-32. Moses Lake Christian down Entiat 68-34, and it was Okanagan over Oroville 57-43. Lake Roosevelt tipped Tenasket 67-50. Pateris and Waterville Mansfield were a last-minute cancellation. Turning to the girls' basketball action last night, Davis played its first game in over a month after the program was halted due to COVID. Moses Lake came out on top of that one over the Pirates, 56-46. Kashmir and Cascade, along with Quincy and Manson, were canceled. Chelan edged Omak by 4. Othello took care of Ephrata, 58-27. Other scores from last night: Bridgeport beat Wilson Creek 56-37, or 34, that is. Moses Lake Christian topped Entiat 55-30. Liberty Bell and Brewster, alongside Pateris and Waterville Mansfield, all canceled. Oroville forfeited to Okanagan. Girls bowling yesterday. Eastmont beat Sunnyside 4-zip. Total pin count of 1829 to 1582. High boulders for the Wildcats. Katie Heights with a 181 and Kate Ferguson with a 174. Also at Eastmont Lanes, Wenatchee beat Sunnyside 4-zip. Total pin count of 1832 to 1528. High bowlers for the Panthers. Get that. Cammie Carter with a 231 and a 205. And Charlene Campbell with a 201. I don't think I've ever bowled over 200. Well, we're still scheduled for broadcasting wrestling tomorrow night here on the NCWLIFE channel. Pending test results for COVID yesterday, Eastmont scheduled to host Wenatchee tomorrow at 7 o'clock at Eastmont High School. I'll be Matt's side if it happens here on the NCWLIFE channel. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. On a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, very excited. My guest, Darcy Christopherson, is making her very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley tomorrow. She's in charge of this. It's some sort of a big party that we do in the springtime, parades and food courts and activities. I can't remember the name of it. Carnivals. Anyway, Darcy will be my guest tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll talk about that sunny forecast. Thank you very much, Grant. The most popular guy in the bullpen is Grant Olson, and we'll have everything else you need to start your Thursday. And we'll join us together as one big happy television family tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.